Hi everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a good day. Welcome back to another stream. Hey Jack, good to see you. Yeah, so today we're going to do some Phantasy Star Zero because we haven't done it for a little while. I figured with the HUnewearl event being on kind of a down week, with it being Rare Monster Week, I thought we'd do Zero this week and then maybe do PSO next week when Rare Drop Week's back on. So I can't remember the last time I played this. It's definitely, I would say, what, maybe 2 months ago or so, maybe. So it's been a little while. So as usual, if anyone does want to join for Zero, my friend code is on screen. There is a way to get connected. If you want to see how, if you join the Discord, there is some instructions on there how to do it. But yeah, if anyone does want to join for multiplayer today, feel free. Hi Yakima, good to see you. Yeah, Zero's really good. I have much less experience with Zero, so there's still kind of a lot I don't know about it, but yeah, I do enjoy it though. Also, Happy New Year to everyone as well, because I think this is the first stream since New Year, so yeah, I hope you're having a good New Year as well. So what I will do is, I'll make a party. If anyone does want to join, they can. If no one joins after a while, then I'll just do some solo stuff, but... Hi, it's Playable, good to see you. Yeah, Happy New Year to you as well. Would join but don't have a save. I'll start playing again to get a new save. No worries. I mean, for what it's worth, we only tend to play this maybe once every few weeks, so if you want to join for next time, by all means, if you want to start a new character, join for the next one. Yeah, no worries, Drax, no rush. Yeah, it's playable. I see you've been playing a bit of Guild Wars 2 recently. We've been on the Guild Wars 1 grind recently. Yeah, so I'll set the party up, and yeah, if anyone does want to join, they can. Also, thank you to Mist for the 17-month resub as well, much appreciated. Yeah, also, just while we get started, I did post a community post recently, just sort of outlining some plans for 2026, so I'll just quickly go through that. So I want to kind of maintain my current upload schedule for videos, so be one every, I would say maybe one video every few weeks, but I'm trying to improve the quality of the videos rather than just doing one video every single week. Hi Mad Hatter, good to see you. I also, in 2026, I ideally want to get involved with some more collaborations with other creators as well. Already in some talks, but yeah, I'll let you guys know once things are confirmed. I also want to play some games that are not Phantasy Star as well. I think we did good last year, moving away from Phantasy Star a little bit. I know we still play a lot of Phantasy Star, like today, but I'm quite happy with how the front mission streams are doing for the most part. Like, people seem to be reasonably enjoying those, so it's good to see that people are watching stuff that isn't just Phantasy Star. Been playing Guild Wars Reforged off stream and off YouTube, level 7 Necro currently. You picked the right class. Yeah, I'm in Necro and Guild Wars as well. Typically prefer streams to videos, Guy. Yeah, I think so. I think for me, it got to a point with the videos where I was putting out videos for the sake of like meeting a quota that I'd kind of placed on myself. And I felt that some of the video quality kind of suffered a little bit. It might not be obvious to people, but I wasn't really happy with some of the videos. So I'm kind of dialing back the amount of videos I do, but trying to put a bit more time into them and just upload them when I feel like it. Almost made it on time. I know we're Scorpio, we just started, so... Is it horror game time? No. It is never horror game time on this channel. Would you be interested in the Shining Force franchise? And one thing I do want to do, I mentioned in the community post, so one game I do want to play at some point is Expedition 33. I don't know if I want to do it on stream for my first playthrough or play it off stream, but I definitely want to at least play it at some point this year. But I do want to cover some older RPGs as well that I haven't played. So there are a lot of kind of very, very big RPGs that I've never touched. So things like Chrono Trigger, things like most of the Shining Force games I have never touched. So maybe it would be cool to check some of those out. I know Chrono Trigger in particular is like adored by everyone, so I should probably play that at some point. Guild Wars 1 uploads when then? Maybe. I'd have to think what to do for it though. I think if I was going to do anything, it'd be more sort of the lore side. So I'll give us another minute or two if anyone else wants to join in. Did you ever play Lost Odyssey? I didn't. I also obviously want to finish all the Phantasy Star games that I haven't done as well. So I want to do Phantasy Star Nova. I want to do the text adventures. Maybe Gaiden and Adventure, but I don't know where we stand for translations for those. I remember the Genesis Shining Force games being fun. Yeah, I never got a chance to play them really. I tell you, I think I played a tiny bit of Shining Force 2 back in university. One of my university projects was we were making an RPG, and we had to play some RPGs to get like ideas from. And one of the team that was working with me was a big Shining Force fan, so we played a bit of Shining Force 2. But it was so long ago, and I played so little of it, I can't really remember much of it. Yeah, I think it might just be us for today, unless anyone else comes in. Did you see a big creator called Gothalion has been addicted to PSO recently? Yeah, so Gothalion is a really big PSO fan. He basically is in the stages, from what I understand, of making his own game studio, and I think he's wanting to kind of make a game inspired by it, from what I understand. He has spoken to me a little bit on Twitter. Adventure has a fan translation, not sure about Gaiden though. Okay. Yeah, it was the same for me to playable. So I don't know how far along it is or anything, but yeah, he's very much a big lover of PSO. Which is good to see, honestly, for a really big creator like him. It's good to see PSO getting some exposure, because he does play it on his streams as well. Well, Drac, I think it might just be me and you. I guess we can start. Phantasy Star Zero is like the only Phantasy Star game to still keep the looks of Phantasy Star Online, which depresses me. I mean, I think it's kind of got its own art style, I think, Zero. I mean, obviously we have to start with this. I love the chaos of the Phantasy Star Zero streams. Zero really grew on me. I hated it at first, but I actually kind of find a charm in these days. Yeah, I mean, if you saw the video I did on it, the first one, I really didn't enjoy it when I first started playing it. It's just entirely because of the weapon movesets. Once I found a weapon I liked, I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I think Zero definitely has its own kind of art style. I mean, it is literally the only Phantasy Star game that is connected to PSO. For sure. So I guess it makes sense that there's some similarities. But yeah, it definitely got its own sort of style going for it though. What I'm playing Zero on, I'm using Melon DS for it, just because it's much easier to play online through emulation with it at the minute. Drac, did you have anything in particular you wanted to run? Would you ever be into FF11, Sky? I have played FF11 before. I couldn't really get into it. I mean, it was a long, long time ago, but I did play FF11. Also, is it worth us doing a free field or a quest? I can never remember which one's got the higher airdropper at. Fields, okay. My brain rejects anything Final Fantasy. I get that. Yeah, let's start off with... Should we do Squidward first? Yeah, I think for me with FF11 it was more the gameplay. I couldn't get into it at all. Okay, I just need to sort on pallet, 2 seconds. I think what, maybe D-band is more useful, so we take less damage. Phantasy Star has always been the better series in my opinion, but definitely the underdog. Yeah, very much the underdog. I think that was the issue deployable when I played 11. I never really got to a high level or anything, so I was probably still very much like early game. And I just felt very, very slow. This makes me wonder if Phantasy Star Online has actual ties story-wise with the classic series. I don't know much about PSO's story and lore. There's a lot of debate about that. Sega have gone on record and said that there is no link between the classic games and PSO. There is a lot of references in PSO and a lot of reasons why it could be connected, but it's one of those things where we don't know for sure. I think at the very least PSO is inspired by the original games, but I don't know if it is connected to them. It nearly is, since Ragol looks like the planet they arrive at in one of the Phantasy Star 3 endings, but they explicitly say it isn't, yeah. But then there's like so many references. I mean, I guess the references thing could just be a way to hook the original Phantasy Star players in. Don't kill the seals. These are angry seals. These seals will kill you. Also, I love the name of your Castrak. I would give anything to delete PSO from my brain and replay it for the first time again. Yeah, me and you both. I mean, sometimes I just feel like deleting PSO from my memory anyway. I'd rather delete most of the sealed J Sword Hunt from my memory, I think. They don't know any better. It's kind of like how the Final Fantasy games have common elements in each game, but their own contained story. Yeah, likely. Can you play this on the original hardware? I have a 3DS I'd love to play this online with. I know you can play it online on the original hardware. I think people ask this most times. Issue with the original hardware is the sort of the protocol they use for the online communication isn't particularly secure by today's standards. So yes, you can, but I don't know if I'd risk it. I would delete PSO from my memory just to play Blue Burst first. Yeah, I think that is also fair. Played offline on the GameCube as a first time, it was very barren. Yeah, I mean, the offline version of PSO is okay. It's decent, but obviously, you know, they're closing the name. It's meant to be played online, really. But yeah, it's up to you, Akima. I mean, like I say, you can play it online on the original hardware, but yeah, it's a bit of a risk. I would imagine that most people who play it online probably just do it for emulation now. I need to make plushies of the creatures. So they did make, Sega did make a plushie very recently of the Rappy from PSO. Unfortunately, it was only for Japan. And even more unfortunately, it wasn't at the shop that I went to when I was there. Yeah, there was a PSO pop-up shop in Japan when I was there, but then they added more stuff to the second one, which I missed. So, no Rappy plushie for me. You can get PSO 2, like, and PSO 2 NGS Rappies, I think. I think they sell them on eBay. You've got a replica. Yeah, I know they've done a few for, like, PSO 2 for that style of Rappy, but started PSO online on the Xbox just with my brothers before we got Xbox Live. Once we did, though, it was a whole new game online. Could say it's a whole new world. Why do you think they've kind of stalled with PSO game releases? Or Phantasy Star game releases? I mean, obviously NGS is the current one. NGS kind of covers the online aspect, I guess. Also, I've just realised that's the rare bird, isn't it? The really fat one. It does look like a large flying turkey. Yeah, the birds normally don't look like this. These are rare ones. In regards to Phantasy Star in general, like as in the RPGs, I don't know. Maybe they just think there isn't enough demand for them. You know, realistically, the last actual Phantasy Star RPG was 1993. I mean, I guess unless you want to count something like Idler, but that was kind of a gacha game with an RPG attached. Yeah, Rare Monster Week and PS0 apparently, so it is currently Rare Monster Week. Oh, we got an arena as well, cool. So it is Rare Monster Week in PSO at the moment on Affinia. I played earlier and got absolutely 0 rare monsters. I come on PS0 and I get the rare monsters here. Yeah, so for those who haven't seen this before, this is like a rare area you can get. Also, one of these birds is a boosted one. That sort of white shadow it has means it's got increased stats. It seems to have mastered the stat of avoiding me by just walking in circles slightly. Oh my god, they do so much damage. It's a shame the game series has charm as fantasy, sci-fi, anime inspired, great art style, etc. Yeah, I love this franchise, the classic games and everything. But outside of like the online games like PSO2 NGS, it doesn't really get much now. Yeah, these buffed ones are incredibly strong. I might have to switch weapon as well because the moveset's not great on the claws. I can't roll out in time. Okay, we've got more. Can I equip daggers instead? I'll catch up with chat in a minute because these things will kick my ass if I don't. Yeah, this is like a rare instance you can get. It only shows up now and again. So not only do you have rare enemies in Zero, you also have rare areas. Okay, we did it. Congratulations. Right, let's catch up with chat quickly. Gaming industry has been pushing for online-only live service games for a decade now because they're paranoid about second-hand sales and also older games competing with newer ones. So with online-only, they can shut the servers down and tell you to buy the new game. So I don't think Sega would make a new Phantasy Star game while NGS is alive. I don't think they would do an online one. For sure, because it seems, from like a business perspective, I guess, it seems daft to release a game that's going to compete with one of your other games. Isn't NGS very dead? Not really. It's sort of in a bit of a comeback arc to an extent. Last few updates for it have been really good. We're now at a point as well where the game's kind of at a reset point now. Whether you want to call it episode 2 or whatever. It kind of feels we're at a point now where a lot of things are going to change very soon with it. That said, I will still always maintain that it is by no means my favourite Phantasy Star game. It's a long way off that, but I do genuinely feel it has improved a lot recently. How many platforms is NGS on? It is on... Oh, so it's obviously on PC through Microsoft Store and through Steam as well. I think... Is it Xbox, PlayStation... I know PSO2 Classic used to also be on Switch in Japan. It was like a cloud version of it, but I don't know if that exists for NGS. I mean, hell, PSO2 Classic was on Vita and God knows what else. For PSO2 Classic, it was basically name a platform. PSO2 is probably on it. I think that's a really important thing as well that Richard said. For NGS, I think quite often a lot of people just look at the picture on the global side, as in the Western servers. You have to understand there is the Japanese server as well, which has quite a lot more people. I don't know what the population of the Japanese one is like necessarily, but it definitely has a lot more players than ours. You can tell just by the number of ships it has. Is it pay to win? Until quite recently, I would have said absolutely not. There's a couple of things I've added recently that I'm not going to say they make it necessarily pay to win, but maybe there's like a slight hint of it. There are So in NGS you have like an augment system for your weapons and armor where you can add abilities to it, which has been in the game since launch. But I think probably started maybe 2 years ago it started, where every now and again they would add some capsules through the Arcs Cash system, which is like the paid scratches, like paid gacha basically. They had these capsules in, and they were slightly better than capsules you could get in game normally. They have added a few more of those recently. Having said that, does that mean you need those capsules to be able to do the content? No. You can do anything in the game absolutely fine without the paid capsules. The paid capsules, I kind of see them as if you want to, time attack stuff and go absolute best in slot, then yeah, sure, you can buy those. But it is totally playable without them. That said, it will be a grind because some of the capsules that are in the game, the non-pay-to-win ones, require a lot of grinding to make the materials to get them. Issue with NGS is the content being created for it online. If you Google NGS, all you see is Doomer talk. I imagine that stops a lot of people in their tracks. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, obviously, full disclosure again, I am an NGS creator. So, I do make videos for the game. Having said that, I do try to be fair with my sort of assessment of how the game's doing. If I think the game is doing something wrong, I will try and point it out. I will forever hate the hitboxes on this guy. I can say some as well. It usually comes from one person who's a larger creator in the space. Yeah, I mean, there have been instances of creators slagging the game off. Sometimes it's been, correct. Occasionally there has been things that are worth raising as issues with the game. Sometimes it is people who are just airing grievances for no reason. Again, I'm not going to name anyone, obviously, but yeah, it has happened in the past. View farming. The funny thing is, if one of you farm, NGS is not the game to do it on. Like seriously, if you look now, say on Twitch side, if you go and look and see how many people are streaming NGS at the minute, I imagine it's not many at all. That was a little bit spicy. I think it's just the nature of the game, honestly. I just think it's a game that just isn't that popular in the West in terms of streaming. I mean, is the population massive on the global side? Not really. We don't know exactly how many people are playing. I know on Steam normally it's about maybe 1,000 to 1,500 people maybe at the moment. That obviously usually picks up with like major updates, but it's never been a massive game on Steam. I think at its height it maybe got to about 50,000 when it launched. But we have to bear in mind is that only covers the Steam version in the West. It doesn't cover the Japanese server. It doesn't cover any of the consoles. This boss is very annoying, yeah. To be honest, most of the bosses in this game are very annoying. Wow. Also, that attack he did, I've never seen it. Really? Not today, Squidward. Yeah, she would just eat me as well. Problem is, to get close to this guy, you have to kind of go near his head. And if he does the attack where he tries eating you, you're just kind of screwed. Found my first parasitic gene flaw in a Finny the other day. Oh, nice one. I find it funny that this guy... I've never seen him do this attack once, and he's done it 3 times in the same fight now. Oh, this goes well. I believe in you, Drac. Japanese and octopuses are classic. How goes the car, dude? I can imagine you'd be careful this time of year when it's slippy. Yeah, I haven't really driven it much last few days, honestly. Can you... not? Cease, Squidward. Yeah, congrats on the Parasitic Gene Flow. That's a really nice drop. Make sure you save it for... I mean, I don't know what weapon you're going to make from it, but... hopefully you save it for a good weapon. Ah, go on then. We'll do the Squidward. Why not? Also, yeah, depending on what race you pick in this, that could be your first boss. What do you think of the likelihood of either PSO or PSU getting a remaster with brand new servers? I would say very low, honestly. I think we had the big chance with the PSO 25th anniversary. I think if we were going to get one, it would have been then. I think realistically the next chance is maybe the 30th anniversary or the 40th anniversary of Phantasy Star, which would be 2027. But I honestly don't have much hope for it. Virtually no hope for a PSU remaster. I think if anything gets a remaster, it would be PSO, but I just don't see it happening at the minute. I've enjoyed picking up a rare mile in PSO recently for support text and range weapons. Can I do that in Zero? Yeah, so each of the classes have like different text and everything, much like PSO. You'd have to look in to see which classes learn which text because it does differ to PSO. 30th anniversary makes me feel so old. Yeah, I mean, so 2025 is the 25th anniversary for PSO. 2027 is the 40th anniversary of Phantasy Star. And this year is the 20th for PSU. Wait, there's no quest reward, is there? Because we just did a free field. My brother just got a Type GU gun. They're not too bad, particularly for low-level characters. Do I have... I can't have any skate balls with me because I died and didn't revive. Do I have any photon drops with me to go and get some? I do, cool. $3 for... Is it 15 PDs, is it, for 3? Let me swap character, no worries. So I can remake the game in a minute if you want, Drac. See, do I have any escape dolls in here? If not, then I can go and grab some. I'll just get escape dolls and then I'll remake the game. But yeah, as much as I would like to see them do something with PSO, or hell, this franchise in general, it would be really nice for them to do something, but I think the 25th anniversary was their main chance, and we got what we got. Hi, Rukunetsu, good to see you. Happy New Year to you as well. Yeah, we're just playing a bit of Phantasy Star Zero for a change. Alright, I think we're good. We've got three skip dolls now, so... Alright, so let's save that and remake. Yeah, that whole area was pretty rough, wasn't it, Drac? The problem is I can never remember which areas have the resistance to what types. Alright, there's another party up. Again, if anyone wants to join, feel free. They were range weak and I still had a hard time. Yeah, range got nerfed into the ground in this, didn't it? Remaster PSO would be 10 out of 10. Yeah, it depends how they do it, though. It needs to be respectful of the original game. Because remasters can be like, so variable in quality. What am I drinking? This is, I believe this is Summer Fruits. Ideal drink when it's the middle of winter. It's literally snowing outside at the minute, so... Seeing this has given me an itch to pick up PSO again. Haven't played it in a few months after getting hyper fixated to it for a while. That's what normally happens with PSO. You get hyper fixated on it, you don't stop playing it for months, and then you put it down because you burn yourself out and then don't come back to it for a while. I'll get an error code, Drac. If it does it again, I can remake if you want. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what servers you play on Ferretbot, but if you're on Affinia, there is the Christmas event stall at the minute. So there is some really good quests to run. And at the minute, I think it's Rare Monster Boost Week. So it's like 200% Rare Monsters. There we go. I wish you could do this in the other games. It's also a great game just because you can pet the cats. Playing Echo the Dolphin for the Dreamcast will also give me an itch to play PSL because of the visuals. Echo the Dolphin is such a weird game, isn't it? Like, it comes across as a really calm game when you first start playing it. But it's almost like a horror game in parts. I remember playing Echo years ago. It's also really hard. It's like, you start out and it's just this like cute dolphin game. And you end up fighting stuff that looks like the Xenomorph from Aliens. Oh, Cthulhu, yeah. And I mentioned this last time, but I did recently get into the Mega Drive, so there is a Mega Drive over there now. And I managed to get a copy, I managed to win a copy of Phantasy Star 4 on eBay. It's the Japanese version, but I'm getting a converter so I can play it anywhere. So that's another one for the collection. I just need Phantasy Star 1 now. Unfortunately, finding a nice copy of Phantasy Star 1 for the Master System is proving very difficult for a reasonable price. I went for the Japanese copy of 4 because the PAL copy of Phantasy Star 4 is ludicrously expensive. I'm talking like sort of probably $300 to $400. Dreamcast game starts out with a very dramatic intro detailing the alien invasion and how a small dolphin has to stop it. I love the Mega Drive. The Mega Drive is honestly one of my favourite consoles, if not my favourite. I used to have one years and years ago, and then when I was a kid, when I got a PlayStation, I got rid of the Mega Drive because I thought, well, why would I ever need to play this now? And then regretted it for about 20 years. But I was in my local, I've got a little retro game shop in the town I live in. So I went in there a few days ago and they had a Mega Drive in, so I was like, right, I'm having that. Yeah, I'd love to get the Tower of Power. But the issue with the Tower of Power is it looks cool. There's just not that many games though for the Mega CD or the 32X. And it's a lot of money to get them. Alright, Drac, did you have any particular area you want to do next? Some of my fondest memories, like losing my mind finishing Bubsy. Yeah, Snatcher is really good. Yeah, I've seen people play that. It looks really cool. Is Snatcher the one? Is that the Hideo Kojima game? Haru can do. Because I think was it Snatcher and Police Notes, I think. I don't know if they were the same system or not, but I'm pretty sure that was a Kojima game as well. Yeah, I've never actually played Snatcher or Police Notes, but I've seen them. They look really cool. I kind of love the art style on them as well. Okay, that escalated quickly. So the issue is when you get confused, the way to get around it is open your menu so you don't move in random directions. But then if they decide to use you as a Gatling gun target, then you're not going to be around much longer. Again, I've said this over and over again with this game, but it's weird that like such a sort of colourful, happy-looking game is like probably one of the hardest Phantasy Star games. What was funny, because I was watching someone play Police Notes recently, and I was amazed at how many things were in that were then just used in Metal Gear. Like, there was a character... There was literally a character called Merrill in the game. There is a group called Foxhound in the game. Recently saw Escape from New York, and Metal Gear Solid 1 has so much stuff lifted from it down to the soundtrack. Oh, for sure. Yeah, Metal Gear is a weird series for me. Like, I really like some of the earlier games. I mean, like Metal Gear Solid 1 is probably one of my favourite games ever. I love that game. Like the original PlayStation version, not the Twin Snakes one. Twin Snakes was okay. MGS2 was really good as well. Unfortunately, I never really played enough of 3. That's maybe another game I need to sort out at some point. I still find it really amusing that the monkeys just explode. You need to play a 3. Did it see you, David, as well? Yeah, there's like certain games that were like massive releases at the time that I just never got around to playing. And pretty much every time I think of like the time frame, it's usually because PSO got in the way. 3 and 5 my favourites. Haven't finished MGS1. I like MGS1. I think it's a pretty good game. I'd say it's weird, but I mean, what Metal Gear isn't weird? Yeah, it's like, I know we talked a bit about Guild Wars earlier. So when I played Guild Wars originally, I only played the first, like, campaign, the Prophecies campaign, never played Factions or Nightfall. And I was trying to figure out, like, why I never played them. Because I really like Guild Wars, but for some reason just never played the other campaigns. And then I was like, oh yeah, PSO Blue Burst was out then. That'll be why. So as much as I love PSO, it has also caused me to miss out on a lot of games. Hi Zio, good to see you. Happy New Year as well. We're just playing some Zero and getting absolutely murked. I seriously don't understand why this game is so difficult. You just need to win the lottery and play games full time. I die easy, but I also do 400 damage slaps with wand. So very much glass cannon then. But yeah, definitely a few games I definitely want to cover this year, if I can. Obviously, Phantasy Star will continue to be a focus, but there is other games I want to check out aside from Phantasy Star as well. Like I say, I think for Expedition 33, I just need to decide how I want to experience it for the first time. Because people seem to love that game so much, and I don't know if it's worth me playing it off stream first to experience it. I'm not sure yet. We can maybe do some Final Fantasy games at some point as well. Or maybe some I haven't played before. Is that Prophets of Mortav? It kind of looks like it. Maybe it's a bit different? Oh, it is, okay. Nice. Oh, that's Alizé, fucker. Interesting to change the name of it, but... I mean, any book is Prophets of Mortav as far as I'm concerned. It's okay, Drac. It could be worse. You know, it could be Dark Claw. I'm actually tempted to do a video at some point of like all the like screw-ups with the Phantasy Star series over the years. I kind of feel like I could get a whole video out of it, like how many times they've screwed up things in the games. Because believe me, it is not just NGS that does that. I would say it gives the series some charm, but sometimes it's a little bit annoying. Like, I was unreasonably annoyed when I found out that they called Dark Claw and NGS. You know, it's only one of your most iconic weapons in the entire franchise, you know? Okay. That is a really nasty trap. I'm assuming there's another switch. Do you really just have to like hit the bomb to get out of that? Is there no other way out of it? That seems unnecessarily harsh. So I can't see a switch anywhere. Well, that's really harsh. See what I mean about this game? Sounds like Zero traps par for the cars. Yeah, because those bombs, they do a ton of damage in this game. Also good to see a draft here as well. Yeah, definitely want to check out some of the Phantasy Star games I haven't touched as well. I think we've done all the major ones, so it is kind of just like the side games now for the most part. You love the noises that the mobs make. Hey, Peaky, good to see you. Yeah, we're off to a great start in 2026, aren't we? You know, if you ignore everything in the news. Yeah, I do find it funny that at the beginning of 2025, I did that video that was like, 2025 is a massive year for Phantasy Star. And then we kind of got next to nothing. Oh, to be fair, I think I did say that in the video, that that was the likely outcome, but... Zero is really fun. Yeah, I have a good time with it. Again, it's never going to be my main Phantasy Star game, but I do enjoy it though. I mean, what other games do you get monkeys that use guns? There's probably another one somewhere. It's good to be positive, but sadly we are speaking about a Sega IP, yeah. I think that is a very fair assessment. I think realistically, if it's a Sega IP that isn't, that isn't Sonic or Yakuza or one of the Atlas games, then if it's not one of those main franchises, then it may as well not exist. All these great Phantasy Star games on handhelds make me want a Steam Deck, to be honest. It's probably not a bad shout, to be honest. On the subject of Steam, obviously we know the Steam machine's coming at some point. I wonder if they are going to change the price on the Steam machine with the absolute hellscape that is RAM pricing. I know there's already been rumours that the AMD and Nvidia are going to massively jack up the GPU prices. Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but... Yeah, it's like GPUs, RAM, SSDs. Just honestly, just trying to make a PC at the minute would be horrendous. I'm kind of lucky in that I made more a little bit before it all went crazy. But yeah, I would not want to be trying to make a PC now, not with the prices now. Might get to a point where good games fail just out of hardware specs. I think the issue at the minute is we're at a point where we're risking just pricing people out of PC gaming, which is insane. And the thing is, it won't just be PC gaming as well, because obviously if RAM prices and SSD prices go up, the consoles are going to go up in price as well. And not the consoles really need to go up in price already, because I mean, PS5s are already ridiculous. I could see, for PC gaming, I could see a lot of people just transitioning over to, maybe a graphics card from a year or two ago. Because realistically, if you pick up a graphics card from, say, a year or two ago, you're going to be able to play most things fine. There's already data showing that Switch 2 prices are already high enough that people aren't buying it. I'm not sure what the sales figures are like for the Switch 2. That was a clutch moon, by the way. Unless that was the escape activating. I really hate that boss. It was the escape, chat. I mean, I was giving you credit there. You should have took it. if you stand near the screens, the DKRs will charge at you and smash against it and get stunned. I wasn't sure how you did that. Do you literally just stand in front of the screens and get it to sort of bait it out? Sit between him and the screen, basically. Okay. I mean, does the charge attack forward, he goes into the screen? Ah, fair enough. Yeah, I think that's the issue, Miss, isn't it? That there's with a lot of games now as well, they're relying on you having ridiculous specs to run them on PC because they're so poorly optimized. Yeah, I know we like to bring it up all the time, but Monster Hunter Wilds is a perfect example of that. I know they have made some improvements recently, and they are planning on doing some more, but you know, at launch, realistically, that was incredibly badly poorly optimized. Yeah, honestly, Pika, if you've got something like that, you'd probably be fine for a few years. I would say I hope this blows over, but I can't see it getting any better, unfortunately. Oh yeah, I agree, Draft. It is way too late for Wilds. You know, you should not be still optimizing your PC version nearly a year after release. I do wonder what the player numbers are like on Wilds at the minute, because it did get a big update recently, but I know it's fell off hard. Should probably buy Monster Hunter Rise for $10 right now. Rise? If it's $10, I'd recommend Rise. There's some things I don't like about the game, but for $10, I think you can't go wrong with that. Just understand that it doesn't play like a lot of other Monster Hunter games. It's a lot faster paced. I had a good time with it. World is obviously a really good deal if you can get that cheap as well if you haven't played that already. Also, if anyone in chat just want to join, by the way, just let me know and I can make the game again. Let's do Ruins. I'm hesitant to do stuff like Falls at the minute because Falls and Super Hardware 2 might be a bit spicy. Yeah, I agree, Pika. I mean, realistically, if you run 1080p with 60 FPS, that looks fine. I mean, I run 1440 generally, but I think if I was trying to buy something now, I'd probably just aim for like 1080, 60. Try and get like a budget system that can do that. Like I said, unfortunately, I just don't see it getting any better because obviously a lot of this has been caused by AI. And I just don't see AI going away anytime soon, unfortunately. So basically what I'm saying is buy retro consoles and play old games. I have a 4060 Ti and I'm running it higher than that at 60 plus. Yeah, a lot of it just depends on how the game's optimized, doesn't it? It almost doesn't matter what your specs are because you know, some things are just so poorly optimized. Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Pika. I know DDR5 is like the current. I know a lot of people have been going back to DDR4 memory just to make it a bit cheaper. But I think now so many people are doing that. I think DDR4 prices are going up as well. Buy a Steam Deck is also a good recommendation, assuming the prices of that doesn't go up. Yeah, I think it'd be fine with DDR4, honestly. Yeah, Steam Decks look like a really solid purchase. Only reason I haven't got one is because, honestly, I don't really do a lot of handheld gaming. If I'm playing a game, I'm typically sat at my desk anywhere, so I tend to stick with PC or console, but I think if I was going to buy a handheld, I think I would definitely go for a Steam Deck over a Switch 2. It would be terrible for my productivity. There's a lot of rares. Like a ludicrous amount of rares. I mean, it's all the same rare. But yeah, I am very curious to see what the price ends up being on the Steam machine. Whether they can keep the price down on it. I think it's kind of crazy with like modern consoles though. I mean, I don't know what other people are like, but for me, really none of the current generation appeals to me at all. Like, I legit cannot think of any reason that I would want to buy a PS5 or an Xbox Series X or a Switch 2 for that matter. Probably because 90% of the games for them are on PC anyway. Yeah, I just don't see a reason to get any of them. Of course, it's a trap. You can actually get sales for those on PC. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, I know there's sales on like PlayStation Store and everything, but I think for me as well with PC, I just like with Steam, I just like having all my games in one place. Yeah, I'll give you that. And Astrobot does look cool from what I've seen of it. But as cool as the game looks, it's not enough reason for me to buy a PS5. I know the game's meant to be really good, and it does look fun from what I've seen of it, but it's not enough to sell the whole system to me. Yeah, I suppose that's the other thing, isn't it? I suppose, you know, if you are into something like modding as well, PK, then... You know, if you're into modding, then realistically, you are primarily stuck with PC. On that, there was an interesting post by Capcom recently, actually, about Monster Hunter Wilds. They were going on about the new update and how, you know, you'd have to make sure you run the latest version and everything, which is, you know, fair enough. But then they specifically said in the update, if you're running any mods, you might need to uninstall them because it might not work with the update. They weren't saying, oh, don't use mods. They were saying, oh, if you've got mods, you might just want to disable them, you know, until you make sure they work properly. So it kind of sounded like Capcom didn't really care about mods for Wilds, which is interesting. I mean, realistically, people are going to mod the game regardless. It doesn't matter what they say. While to get a title update, I mean, it's just had the most recent title update with Gormazios, which from what I understand is pretty decent. People seem to be fairly positive about that fight. And it is getting another update in, is it February? Where it's getting Ash-tempered Arkveld. Curious, do you know what the incident was with Capcom for all the anti-mod stuff? I know what sort of prompted it. Yeah, from what I understand, there was a Street Fighter tournament and they were running the game on PC. It was like, I don't know if it was a Capcom sponsored event or not, but it was a Street Fighter tournament and it was running on PC, and what they hadn't realized beforehand is that one of the PCs running it had some mods installed. One of the mods being a nude patch for Chun-Li. So when they started the fights in the tournament, Chun-Li was just stood there totally naked. Needless to say, they very, very quickly cut away from it. Yeah, so that is why Capcom were anti-mod for a while. Because someone literally had a naked Chun-Li patch that they forgot to disable for a tournament. I mean, it is very, very funny. And of course it was Chun-Li. I mean, the thing is, you're never really going to stop mods for the most part, you know. Especially Gooner mods. Yeah, but the people will find a way. It's better than what they did to Tifa in the Italian Senate. Yeah, I know what you're talking about with that as well. Again, that is very, very funny. Although I think I understand from that, wasn't it that someone had hacked it? It wasn't like someone in the Senate had that. From what I understand, I think someone had hacked in from outside and just started playing like porn videos of Tifa. I mean, again, of course it was Tifa. Yeah, so I don't know if Capcom have sort of softened on mods recently, but yeah, they were definitely very anti-mod for a while after that, understandably. I just thought it was interesting, though, that they seemingly changed their stance for Wilds. I mean, obviously, you know, if you're, you know, using not safe for work patches on Wilds, they're probably not going to approve of those. Dumbass had 200 hours on this game. Oh, we got Rappies. Problem is, the Rappies in this game are impossible to get when they stand up because they move at light speed. Yeah, we've got blue Rappies, which are R Rappies, not to be confused with L Rappy. It's kind of funny that it's Rare Monster Week in PSO and we're getting all the rare monsters in this game. Oh, that one got away. I think you get extra experience or something if you manage to hit them again, but... Is the event still up? Yeah, Christmas event is still up on Affinia. I can't remember when it ends. It's maybe next week. Oh, I got Rappy Salt. And PS save level 3. Yeah, PSO, if you play PSO this week, it is Rare Monster Week, and it's obviously because it's a Christmas event, it's doubled, so it's 200% rare monsters at the minute. The Desire Sensor knows. It definitely does, because when I played PSO earlier, I got no rare monsters. Or any rares at all, for that matter. Yeah, I did some Tyrell's Ego runs earlier on purple because I want a frozen shoot with hit. No hills at all whatsoever. Did some cave runs for Redria Red Slime. No red slimes. They've all moved to 0, yeah. Doing Tyrells on blue full just because, I mean, you may as well get another Heaven Punisher. 5th run new saw 4 Rappies. You see, that's good going. I know it's the wrong rare enemy, but at least you're getting them. I haven't seen a Rappy or a Hilda. Yeah, I mean, it's always the case with PSO, isn't it, though? You know, you get Rare Monster Week and nothing shows up. I'm glad Drac knows where he's going. It's funny they didn't make a Phantasy Star game on 3DS. Yeah, I don't think there's anything, was there, for 3DS? Look at some kind of structure there online. I'm trying to think sort of what kind of year 3DS was. So I'm trying to think what other games were out then. Would have been what, about like mid 2010s maybe, around then. So I mean, that's basically PSO2, isn't it? I guess they must have just been really focused on PSO2 at that point, I guess. Yeah, it kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. As much as I would like to see some more Phantasy Star outside of NGS, I don't see them doing an online game for the series while NGS runs, because it's just counterintuitive. There's really nothing else here. There's really nothing else in here. Okay. Yeah, I kind of feel they won't make another online Phantasy Star until whenever they decide to finish with NGS. That does still leave the door open for like an offline Phantasy Star game, but I just don't see it happening, unfortunately. There's so many turrets in this place. It's so annoying. You know, they've made a big deal about like 2026 being the 5th anniversary of NGS as well, so I think NGS still has some legs in it. I don't know how many more years it'll go on for, but I certainly don't think it'll run for as long as PSO2 did, because PSO2 was just ridiculous the amount of time that went on for. But I would guess that maybe NGS has another... What, maybe another... I reckon another, what, 2 to 3 years, maybe? That's a total guess, though. Could go on for much longer, potentially. Kind of depends what they do with the game as well. PSO3 confirmed. I mean, it would be nice. But it's a blank as well. Yeah, I mean, I often think of like when would be a good time for Sega to drop something like a PSO3. And I kind of feel for such a big game, I always feel that they would tie it to an anniversary potentially. Obviously, we've had the 25th anniversary of PSO and nothing really happened for that, so I would say the next chance we've got is probably 2027 for the 40th anniversary of the whole franchise. But don't hold me to that. Also, it is insane that, you know, in 2027 it is 40 years of this franchise. I'm pretty sure, I think this year is the 40th anniversary of Dragon Quest, I think. So it feels like all of these games are celebrating the big anniversaries at about the same time. How you play multiplayer? There is a method to get it working. There's basically someone essentially has a server set up that you can access to play multiplayer. You can do it through emulation. You can do it through the actual hardware. I mentioned this earlier, but the security for the actual hardware is a bit of an issue, so I probably wouldn't recommend doing it through original hardware. Damn. Yeah, again, kids game, by the way. Yeah, I think we have instructions in the Discord. There is also a Phantasy Star Zero Discord as well. So if you're interested in playing, it might be worth checking there as well. Yeah, for what it's worth, the setup for it was fairly easy from what I remember. So also for what it's worth as well, it seems to work perfectly. It doesn't really seem to lag much or anything. I've never really had any problems with disconnects. This is where it disconnects, just to prove me wrong. I mean, it works really, really well. As for how many people are playing it, I'm really not sure. I imagine it's not a huge amount of people, but again, if you join something like the Phantasy Star Zero Discord, again, I mean, there is people on my Discord that play it as well, but I'd imagine the majority are probably on the Phantasy Star Zero Discord. I think there is like a dedicated little community for it. Certainly nothing on the scale of PSO though. Can you please stop bouncing around? It certainly makes you work for these boxes at the end. Yeah, it's funny, like every single time I play this, it always seems to get loads of love. I always get the impression that it's one of these games that people have really fond memories of. Again, for me, not so much because I never had a DS when I was a kid, so I never really played it back at release. I think for me, I had a PSP at the time, so I was playing like Phantasy Star Portable, Phantasy Star Portable 2 instead. That playing a story moment in PSP 2 Infinity had my attention and the stream shut off on you. No worries. Hope you're enjoying Infinity as well. It's a really, really good game. Hi Zil, good to see you. If you want to join Zil, by the way, we should have space. I can just remake the party if we need to. Same goes to anyone else who wants to join as well. I was very impressed with the art of this game back in the day, still am. Yeah, honestly, I think it does hold up well. I mean, obviously for the stream, because I'm emulating it, it is massively upscaled. But I really like the art style. I think if you consider you're normally playing this on a DS with a tiny screen, it probably looked absolutely fine. The little details like the blurry backgrounds, you just probably wouldn't notice that much. Infinity is one of my favourite games. I haven't played it since like 2018, so I'm having a blast. Oh, nice one. Yeah, Infinity is definitely way up there for Phantasy Star games. Definitely one of the best ones. Again, really sucks that it never got released outside Japan. I know there is like a full translation patch and everything for it, but it just sucks that Western players never got to experience it at the time, unless they played an imported version. Yeah, should we remake the game, and then if anyone else wants to join, they can. What are my mats and mag? Probably not great. Well, mostly power for materials.
And for mag, it's 55-20 at the minute. Just wish that the infrastructure people for PSP2 are getting it to work. Yeah, I wish it was a little bit easier. Join next time, just woke up and about to tweet. No worries, though. Well, what I can do is I can remake anyway, and then if anyone does want to jump in, they can. Just glad I played PSP2 when it was new. May have missed out some of the Infinity stuff, but at least I had a good time. I mean, PSP2 base game is still really, really good. Do any power mats? I've got 13 there. So would you recommend just that area is range weak? Would you recommend just maxing out on power materials then? Full power for now. You can try a Evade.mst later with save states or something. Fair enough. Right, so let's use these and then see how short I am. Right, so what am I at now? So I'm 6 short at the minute for materials. If you need ATA, use the 50/50 mag. If not, use the full power mag. Yeah, I don't really notice too many problems with my accuracy, honestly. Thanks for that, Jock. If you fight a rare enemy or a boosted one, it might be hard to hit, or in high level tower. Okay. Do you know if it's easy to play PSP2 online with a PSP or a PS Vita through ad hoc with someone running an emulator? I honestly don't know too much about running the PSP games online. Does anyone in chat know how easy it is to run the PSP or PS Vita through ad hoc? Yeah, I was going to say, Pika, I think you've messed with it before, haven't you? Yeah, honestly, I never play the PSP games online at the moment, so you can, but you need to use a tunneling software somewhere on your computer. I do it via Vita. Okay. Did I use the mats? I did not, but I'm going to deposit the others while I'm here. Yeah, let's use those mats before we forget. So we should be capped out now. There we go. No worries, yeah. Sorry I couldn't help myself, but yeah, I've never really played the PSP games online. I need to do that at some point though. Because I have quite a few high-level characters on Infinity, and it'd be quite cool to play some Infinity missions with people. You can feed it guns to increase mag ATA to 50 to finish it. Okay. So I guess what we can do is, I guess we can remake the game. We can wait a couple of minutes just to see if anyone does join, just in case anyone feels like it, and then we can remake. I had the max view. I think I had a purple Sato. So I think at the minute, yeah, the only ones I've got at the minute are the mags I've been using. I think I remember you talking about a mag though, but again, it's been a while since I played Zero, so I can't remember. Yeah, so Pig is saying on real hardware you need to go on the PS2 Infinity server. On emulator, you just pop the emulator, configure the netplay on SOCOM, and it works. Okay. Oh, so you basically use like the netplay settings as if you're going to play SOCOM, and then that works. Okay. Loads of fun single player, but even more with others. Oh, definitely. I think that's the same with most of these games, honestly. I like in this game you can use weapons to feed mags. Yeah, I think they started that with, was it PSU? I think PSU you could use weapons to feed your partner machine. I like how they call Sato Chato. Kind of wish that PSO had this so you could dump weapons you don't use. Feed Femini Soul to the other one that isn't Chato. Let's see, I've got Radam Soul, Rappy Soul. I think that's it, unless it's in my other trunk. And Lassie Soul. PSU mag feeding is crazy. You need something like 500 plus items to max out a craft mag. It takes forever. You maxed your mag completely on Clem, took a month. Yeah, isn't it different for Clementine mags where... Because I know on like original PSU, I think you could only go to like level 200 on your mag. I think on Clementine didn't they change it so you can have it go higher, so you can have everything on one mag? It's all in one. Oh, cool. Okay, so first of all, so use the Femini Soul on this Ansel. Is that right? So Ansel, I want to have a look at this first. That sort of reminds me a little bit of, you know, Angafandage from PSO2. Yeah, they change it on Clementine. Alright, so then use Femini Soul. So I guess, do I feed Femini Soul to the mag or use it on the mag? Feed it, okay. So Ansel, feed, Femini Soul. Nice. Yeah, that's a really cool looking mag. What's it called, that? A mini, I mean, of course. Mag leveling is life. Yeah, I've said this a few times. I mean, I love the concept of the mag system in these games, but on PSO in particular, I never level my mags anymore. I always get someone else to do it. Checks out all the PBs in nature. So 99 power, 1 mind. Flows here and it's fickle. I mean, a cat being fickle just seems perfect. Yeah, let's show Chateau. There we go. There's our boy. I do appreciate that it's a purple one as well. So, is this the only PSO mag that's in Zero? Or is there any others? There are more, okay. Fluzzy is the invulnerability fought on blast when 4 times chain, also double damage. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, you used Saniti, didn't you? Of course. Oh, Puyo's in there as well. I'm kind of surprised, honestly, that they didn't use more mags from PSO. I guess they wanted to kind of use their own designs, which is fair. You do have a green Puyo. So, I guess, should we remake the game just in case anyone wants to join? We'll just give it like a minute or so, I guess, and then if no one else joins, we can just do some more. Yeah, thanks very much for those mags as well, much appreciated. Alright, so I will cut out. We'll make another game, and if anyone does want to join, feel free to. I know Zale said he was busy, so... Okay, well, party's up, so if anyone does want to join, feel free. Yeah, I think Zale said he was busy, so... I would say as well, don't worry if you're not in super hard as well. I don't mind doing other stuff. Problem is I'm super underleveled. Happy Sunday, hope you get some great drops. Oh, thanks Casey. You're good to see you as well. And Happy New Year as well. Do you know what kind of level you are, Drafia? Out of curiosity. We need to do another tower stream soon. Yeah, I mean, I suppose we can try doing that maybe next time we play Zero. Yeah, we're just kind of running whatever at the minute, Casey. We haven't played Zero for a few weeks, so I thought it was about time. You're at 40-ish. So, level 40, could we do hard? I mean, I'm fine doing that if people are okay with it. Yeah, but we could do hard if you want to join. Again, don't feel you have to, but options there if you want to. Yeah, I don't mind doing hard picker if you want to use a character for hard instead. Same for you, Drac, as well. I don't know if you've got any characters that are in hard, but if you want to switch, feel free. I imagine most of yours are really high level anyway, though. But the mods you have for this makes the characters look great. So the only thing I'm doing is I'm running at a higher resolution. I'm basically just using the emulator to upscale it. That's it. It's just because to play this multiplayer, it's a lot safer to play this emulated multiplayer. Yeah, it's just not great playing it on original hardware. All my night characters are 60 plus, but it's fine. Hard mode still has nice experience. Okay. Yeah, game should be up there if anyone wants to jump in. Yeah, I do kind of feel in this game that hard mode is still really decent. I know the drops are not as good, but honestly, the experience still seems to hold up pretty well. You can technically hunt Riverman Missouri on Tower and Hard mode. Haven't had much time to game this year, but got to play Monster Hunter Wilds a little bit over the holiday break. Oh, nice. Yeah, for me, I think I had fun with Wilds when it released. I think once I'd kind of done the story and stuff, I was kind of done with it. I went back for some of the title updates, did the stuff that they added, but didn't play much after that. Definitely not my favourite Monster Hunter game by any means, but I had a reasonable time with it when it first released. Are you joining, by the way, Pika? Again, it's up to you if you want to. If not, we can just start again. Oh, you're joining? Ah, cool. Yeah, honestly, for me with Wilds as well, I think one of the main issues I had was just that they changed Insect Glaive massively, and I loved how it played in World. And I really, really don't like how it plays in Worlds. I want Capcom to release Generations on PC. Yeah, I mean, like, Generations Ultimate, there's like so much to do in that game. I've barely scratched the surface of that game at all, but yeah, there is so much to do in it. Still going through the story stuff. Heard a lot of people didn't care for it. Having a blast so far. I think Rise Sunbreak is still my favourite at this point. Sunbreak is really solid. The only issue I have with Sunbreak is I didn't really like how the endgame farming worked. But I still had a really good time with that game. And it fixed quite a lot of the problems I had with base game Rise. I think our PC is going to take a while, but you guys go for now. It should pick. I mean, I don't mind waiting for like another couple of minutes or so if you can get in, but if you want us to go ahead, we can. Yeah, we did Drac, yeah. So yeah, I know we've been going for Guild Wars off stream. And yeah, we managed to kill Glint. Yeah, I mean, if you're fine with us going ahead, Pika, we can just start. I guess, I mean, I've got about an hour or so before stream ends, so if you do get a point where you want to join, just let me know and I can remake the game. Why not stream that on Wednesday? I'm trying not to switch up the game on Wednesday, just because obviously Front Mission 3 is like quite a long RPG. Because Front Mission 3 is quite a long RPG, I kind of don't want to abandon it for too long. Because it's really easy to sort of forget what's happened and everything, so... I'm certainly not against streaming Guild Wars at some point, but... I think for me, like, going back through Guild Wars has been one of those times where, because I haven't played it for 20 years, it's been sort of kind of nostalgic for me going back through it again. So it's one of those games where I'm happy just playing it off stream for now, but I might stream it in the future. You just need shifter, no worries, I can sort that out. Yeah, I mean, if you do want to see us playing Guild Wars, obviously, you know, we tend to do it on the Saturday Discord meetups, and we normally play it usually on Tuesdays as well. So yeah, obviously, if you're on the Discord, feel free to drop it in the voice chat on that, and just you can watch us there if you want. So you want to do Tower Drac, yeah? Well, some of Tower anyway. What current game do you like for hunting? PSO2. So I am hunting some really rare stuff in PSO2 NGS at the minute, but mainly PSO. We want to do like early super hard Tower Drac or hard. Super, fair enough. I think it's that one. Oh, obviously, yeah, I want to go for Psycho 1, fair enough. Yeah, so for those who haven't seen before, the other advantage of being able to play this online is there is another patch you can use to allow you to play the Eternal Tower multiplayer. We're not doing the whole thing now because it would take hours. But normally this is single player only. Yeah, honestly, it's been nice in NGS actually having something to hunt. So basically the Dark Falls Luther emergency quest that's on drops a series of weapons called the Arsh weapons, and they're all based on PSO weapons. And you know, I mainly play Bouncer in NGS, which uses dual blades. And the dual blades are Sangre Nyasha, which if you've watched me play PSO, you'll know is one of the main weapons I use. So I need that drop in NGS. Unfortunately, so far it has completely eluded me. They all seem very, very rare. It's quite funny because the video that I did about those weapons, I kind of guessed what they would be, and I think I got about 70% of them right. Well, wouldn't be a Zero stream without one of these trying to completely end us. I really don't like the arc signs in this. Far too Barons adjacent. Front mission's been very fun. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I know it's not for everyone, but yeah, it's just a game I wanted to play for a while because it's probably one of my favourite games outside of Phantasy Star stuff. So I'm glad to see people are enjoying it. You're still looking for any more people? I got a level 80 and a level 100. Potentially we could do. Are you all set up and everything to play online? Because I believe you might have to give friend codes so you can play. It's a bit weird the way it works. Yeah, it's kind of strange. Like, you basically need each other's friend codes to be able to. Oh, you've already got Drax card. Okay, I think if you've got Drax friend card, you might be able to join then. I mean, I'm fine remaking this if you want. I'm going by that bit where yeah, okay. I like you just quit immediately. 25th anniversary YouTube video was terrific, by the way. Love the look back and cozy nostalgia vibes. Oh, thanks for that. It's doing really well, that video as well, which I'm glad to see. It took a lot longer to make than my normal videos, so I'm very glad about that. Yeah, we've got the tower mod on, yeah. So I think Drac is going to make a game, because then I think you should be able to join if you got Drac's card, and then I should be able to join because I've got Drac's card as well. Game's up, cool. Yeah, honestly, I think the 25th anniversary video was one of the most fun videos I've put together. It took a long time to get everything ready for it, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. I do seem to have a weird thing on the channel at the minute where every video I do seems to almost immediately get one dislike, and I think it's because I banned someone recently. So I'm assuming it's just someone who's very salty just doing a dislike. It is dedication, I appreciate. The really fun thing is to help me out because regardless whether you like or dislike on YouTube, it counts as video participation, so... No worries, Climax. Always happy to play with more people on Zero. Same for every other game we play as well. Apostle's armor is so cute. I like how everyone is level 80 plus. I say for me, I'm not bothered what we run anywhere, so. Oh yeah, of course we need to. It's like a ritual with Zero. This like you have to do this when you load in. Yeah, I will send you a friend code as well, Climax, just so you can join easier in future. There you go. Yeah, it's just a weird thing with how this game works online. Like you have to have each other's friend codes to be able to join someone's game. Alright, let's go. And we're not going to finish tower, but we can at least do some floors. Assume we're doing tower. Oh, we're doing shrine, fair enough. That is also fine. We'll do files for experience, yeah, no worries. I warn you in advance, I will screw up the photon blast thing. I will either accidentally activate my photon blast, or I'll time it wrong. Guaranteed. I'll run D-band if someone else is running shifter. Yeah, it's actually still really good experience. Overend is doing 600 times 3. Nice. Do you know what? I might run sword as well, actually. Because what's better than one person using overend? 2 people using overend. Yeah, overend is so strong in this game. I will say, one thing I really like about this game, I don't know if I've really covered it before, is I actually really like the areas for the most part. And particularly Dark Shrine, I think it's a really cool looking area. It's kind of, it doesn't really look like a typical, like, in-game Phantasy Star area. I really like the sort of the aesthetic of it. I think this is a game, honestly, I really wish I got to play it at the time when it released. Just never had a DS when it released, unfortunately, so I never got around to it. This was my first Phantasy Star game along with PSU Ethan Werber. I mean, I'm sorry that you had to experience Ethan for one of your first games. Also wish I was more fluent in Japanese so I could play more of Nova. Yeah, I mean, so for PSP2 Infinity, when I played it the first time, I played it all in Japanese. Oh, we got another arena, cool. I mean, sure. I don't know what's up with this today, but yeah, we're getting all the arenas and rare monsters today in this. But yeah, for me with Infinity, the first time I played it, I played it all in Japanese. I sort of kind of made sense of some major elements of the story based on the cutscenes and so on, but it was kind of hard to follow. Did you ever own a Dreamcast growing up? Don't know how old you are. I am 40. I did not own a Dreamcast back in the day, but I do have one now. Yeah, I bought one about, I want to say about 6 or 7 years ago, maybe. Mainly because I wanted to experience what PSL version 1 was like. And I wanted to do it properly, like, without an emulator, so... Fellow 40-year-old millennial here. Not sure what a Dark Shard is, but I mean, I'll take it. PSL 1 version 1 was so game-changing when it came out. It's game-changing, but I mean, for me, I find it really hard to play version 1. I've played it a little bit, but I find it so hard to play now. I think because I'm so used to the quality of life changes that the later versions added, it's really hard to go back. I said this before, but just not having a quick menu, it really hurts the experience for me. Obviously, if I'd have played it back in the day, it wouldn't have been an issue because that would have been what I played. Well, I think for me, who started with GameCube, PSO, and then played Blue Burst, and then went back and played version 1 and version 2 later, it took some getting used to. Version 2 is not too bad because I think that has the quick menu anyway. But version 1 still feels very rough. I still love it, but yeah. But you're right in saying that it was game-changing. You know, it was absolutely revolutionary, really. Quick menu is criminal that there wasn't one. Yeah, just like anytime you want to change weapon in version 1, it's horrific. You have to like go into your main menu, go through all your weapons, find the one you want, press equip, close your menu. HUnewearl casually healing for 1,000, yeah. Right, typical HUnewearl. One day I want to get one of those handhelds that can play old games and through PSO again. Yeah, I think some of those handhelds that have been coming out recently look really interesting. Again, I probably won't get one just because I don't really play a handheld gaming that much. But I think they're potentially really good for people who want to play some old games. Yeah, I'll just set up like every trap in the entire area. I should really remember to use trap visions in this game. Really? I feel this entire room is just traps. Like I said. What's your favourite pre-PSO2 era Phantasy Star game if you have one? Previously, like before I started doing these streams, I would have just instantly said PSO GameCube. I think now though it's almost impossible for me to separate like PSO GameCube and Phantasy Star 4. I think both of those are incredible games. Maybe Phantasy Star 4? Hi Prime, good to see you. Yeah, we're doing a bit of Zero today. We don't play it that often, but yeah, it's been a few weeks since I played it, so... yeah, I'll say Phantasy Star 4 for my favourite, but PSO, particularly GameCube for me, is very, very close to that. I'm going to say it again, but as much as I like this game, I'm really not a fan of the boss fights. Did you ever beat the card battle one? I honestly can't remember. I know I got very, very far through it. Also, I didn't get a Photon Blast, so I can't do the chain. I got very, very far through it. I think I might have got to the final boss, but I don't know if I ever beat it. I think the issue with Ep 3 was just that you needed a really, really good deck of cards to do well in it. And if you had bad RNG with the card packs, you were just kind of screwed. Still really like the game though. PS0 Dark Falls is so weird. I got a Calamity Soul. Is that the Scythe? It's the one before White Disaster. Oh, nice. It actually got a rare, yeah? It's a nice MST for, stick for a force that's still leveling. Oh, cool. Do I have any space in my storage to put it? There's another slight issue I have with this game. You have virtually no storage. A rod said to eat souls. While it confers power, it also darkens the spirit. Cool. Accept quest reward, by the way, I will. But yeah, I think for me, I would have always said PSO. I think until I played Phantasy Star 4 and experienced how peak that game is. I was seriously not expecting Phantasy Star 4 to be as good as it is. Love the design of the HUnewearl, the male Hunter Newman. Yeah, I think some of the character designs are really cool. And it's nice to see some of the classes that weren't in PSO actually get made. You know, like, you know, HUnewearl. Yeah, Pigget, do you have the patch for Tower? Because we could do a few floors of tower if you do. No, okay. Yeah, I had a feeling you'd be doing Arca plans. That was a really cool, like shortcut. Final Fantasy 0. Meanwhile, I've just got various ones of Squidward. Yeah, generally, I think I like most of the character designs in this. It just feels so different to the games. I mean, it's definitely inspiration from the PSO designs for sure, but they do very much stand on their own, I think. Sounds weird, but I kind of like how bouncy the characters are. Like when they run, they kind of bounce. They're what, like Kingdom Hearts characters? Yeah, I see that. It looks like Roxas. Do you know, I'm sorry to any Kingdom Hearts fans, but that is one series I have never had any interest in playing. I don't know what it is about it, but I've just never, it's never appealed to me. I know they're meant to be really, really good games, but for some reason there's something about them, I just have no interest in them whatsoever. Oh, you watched Parkins play at Mist? Yeah, I'm sorry to any Kingdom Hearts fans. Again, no shade about the game or anything. I know they might be really good, but just don't really do anything for me personally. I think honestly, the main reason might be I'm just not really a big fan of Disney. Which is a slight issue. Only played 2, the first one was a bit too childish for me. World Ends With You is better than Kingdom Hearts. It's basically Kingdom Hearts without the Disney. Okay. Yeah, honestly, there's probably loads of JRPGs that I've just never got around to playing that I really need to check out at some point. I mean, even the Final Fantasy games, there's still loads of them I never played either as well. I've kind of played most of the really popular ones, I guess. Played this on emulation and found the combo timing harder than PSO. Is that normal? The combo timing definitely takes some getting used to, for sure. It depends on the weapon as well. Some of the weapons just feel very awkward to use. But yeah, it definitely takes time. I would say if you are struggling with the combo timing, maybe try and slow it down a bit because it does feel like it's significantly slower than PSO. Since say that's the kind of speed for the sword. But yeah, it definitely takes some getting used to for sure. I hate that this game had minimal voice acting and cutscenes. This should have came out on the Wii with a much bigger production. It's kind of a shame, isn't it? I mean, I do like the sprite art in the game, you know, for the little like dialogue scenes, the ones that are not full cutscenes. Mech guns only firing twice instead of 3 times. Yeah, they had to nerf them from PSO. Yeah, honestly, the story for this isn't bad. I mean, there's not a whole lot to it, really. I think it holds up well enough. It's just nice that we have something that is admittedly very loosely, but it is connected to PSO. I wish it came out on the 3DS, might be more comparable to the PSP games. I mean, I think this does hold up totally fine, honestly. I mean, in terms of gameplay, I do feel the PSP games are quite far ahead. Apart from PSP 1, because PSP 1 is basically just like a portable version of PSU. But if you compare it to something like PSP 2, you know, PSP 2 is a lot more in depth for the actual combat. And I think just the production value feels a bit better on PSP 2 and Infinity. I think it's fair to say that more money probably went into those games overall, but I think this is totally fine as a game on its own. I agree with that, Prime. Yeah, I will say that I think PS0 does feel more similar to PSO than PSU did. I think with PSU, though, I don't think they were really trying to make a new PSO. They were trying to kind of move on from it, I guess. Trying to sort of, forge out their own, their own new series. So obviously PSU was the first game in the HUnewearl system, and it introduced a lot of new things in it. They were obviously trying to experiment a bit more with PSU. How successful it was, don't know. I mean, it wasn't liked on release, I know that much, but I think it's aged well though. Yeah, PSP 2 and Infinity are both really good games. Infinity in particular, very much to me, feels like a labour of love. And if you like PSO, I would recommend playing Infinity as well. It's not connected to PSO, but it just feels like a love letter to PSO in some places. I mean, I say it's not connected to PSO, I mean, it literally has Reg and Rico and Flown in it, but it's not really a canon appearance. I think the only thing I'll say about PSP 2 is the balancing was a bit off. Particularly for base game PSP 2, I think Braver, which I think was it Vanguard in the Japanese version? Or was it Vanguard in the Western version? I can't remember. I know one version it was Braver and one version it was Vanguard. That class was incredibly broken. I think Infinity balanced a little bit better, but yeah. Braver's a Japanese name, okay. I couldn't remember which way around it was. Vanguard is such a weird translation of Braver. But PSU was set in the old system 1 to 4 was setting. It's inspired by it. It's not the actual same system, but it's very clearly inspired by it. The planet names are similar. It does have Rycross. You're right on that. Oh, we've got conflicting information on YouTube. Akame saying Vanguard is Japanese. I genuinely can't remember. It's been a while since I played PSP 2. You waited so long for the Rycross reveal in Phantasy Star 4. It was worth it though. I mean, you know, you got to see me play through all of the Phantasy Star classic games, so. Honestly, I deserved to play Phantasy Star 4 after suffering through Dark Forcing 2 and the entirety of Phantasy Star 3. On the topic of Final Fantasy games, try Explorers for the 3DS. It's very Monster Hunter. I don't think I've even heard of that. It's interesting though. Yeah, I've never really heard of that game, but I mean, if it's like Monster Hunter, then I might like it. Yeah, just walking the spikes, that works. Explorers is a blast. Oh, cool. Yeah, somehow I've never heard of that game. That must have passed me by. Oh my god, there's so many confused traps. As jobs, i.e. classes, but you farm enemy gear to craft them. Oh, cool. I suppose on the subject of Final Fantasy as well, I mean, if I like stuff like Front Mission, maybe I should play Tactics at some point as well. From what I've seen, they look kind of similar, so... I swear to god, these confused traps. Pretty sure Vanguard was in English because I had the base version on PSP growing up. Okay. Yeah, again, it's been a long time since I played PSP 2, so I can't remember. Crystal Chronicles for GameCube and Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core are the best Final Fantasy games in my opinion. Yeah, I've always like weirdly liked Final Fantasy VIII, which I know is like a very weird one to like, but I do like 7 as well, but as much as I like 7, I do feel it's a little bit overrated. Or maybe oversaturated is a better way to put it now, because it just feels like every Final Fantasy product is Final Fantasy VII related now. I have seen the Phantasy Star tabletop RPG. I haven't played it, but I have seen it, yeah. I didn't pick it up because I literally have nowhere to store the stuff. I am very much running out of space here. I've got 12. 12 is actually really good. There's that other version of 12, isn't there, as well? Is it Zodiac Age, I think it's called? Wow. I was like 6 more than 7. I think that's totally fair. 6 is maybe really good. I helped. Don't care for normal FF7, but Crisis Core was a memory of PSP joy for me. Yeah, I like FF7. I will say I played some of the remake and didn't really feel it that much. Again, not sure why. I tried getting into it a few times. I just kept bouncing off it. I will accept the quest reward. Zodiac Age is good. Ah, cool. Out of curiosity, what's Final Fantasy 16 like? Because again, I never got to play that either. I have no idea if that's any good. It looked very cinematic from what I saw of it, but I don't know if the actual gameplay is any good. I'm waiting for PSO 3 before I get back into PSO. You might be waiting a while. Aside from the Phantasy Star series, what would you say are your top 5 franchises and games? Front Mission 3 is definitely up there, but I'm not going to say the Front Mission franchise because I don't have enough experience with it, and I actively didn't really like Front Mission 1, so... But if we're saying just games, Front Mission 3 definitely, which is why I'm going through it at the minute. What else? Probably Nier Automata. I had a really good time with Nier Automata. Maybe the original Gran Turismo on PS1. I know this is like a weird selection of games, but yeah, the very first Gran Turismo. I like Gran Turismo 2 as well, but yeah, the original Gran Turismo. Love that game because I love Japanese cars and the soundtrack was amazing. What else? I always like the really old Pokemon games as well, honestly. By really old, I mean like red, blue, yellow, gold, silver. FF16 is very action, fast-paced, almost like Devil May Cry, but yeah, RPG-ish. Okay. I mean, there's other games as well that I haven't necessarily played a massive amount of, but just left a really good impression. Like, I will always have really good memories of games like Streets of Rage 2. I mean, Streets of Rage 1 was really good as well, but I'll always really like Streets of Rage 1 and 2. Also, and this is a super obscure one that probably I'd be surprised if anyone in chat's played. It was an Amiga game. So we're going back a bit. I think it was by Team 17. It was basically a side-scrolling shooter, like space shooter called Project X. That game was incredible. But yeah, I'd be surprised if anyone's played it. The Amiga was great. Like, that had some amazing games. Three kind of sucks. What for Streets of Rage? I never really played much Streets of Rage 3, honestly. I know 4 was fun when we played that on stream as well, but yeah, I think for me, Streets of Rage 1 and 2 will always be up there. Amiga, getting old now, are we? I want to stress that I did not buy the Amiga. The Amiga was my dad's. I just played it when I was a kid. But yeah, yeah, we used to have an Amiga. I think it was an Amiga A500, I think. But yes, we are going back a long time now. The red dude has a really cool mag. It is a really cool looking mag. Yeah, I unfortunately do not have the Amiga anymore, but yeah, I had a good time with that. It was really funny, like around the time of the Amiga, because like for those who aren't familiar with it, it was basically looked like a very sort of simple PC, and it used like 3.5-inch floppy disks for games. And basically, if you knew anyone that had an Amiga back in the day, I would say pretty much everyone's games were pirated. I don't think anyone actually bought games for the Amiga. Pretty much everyone just had like a massive case full of floppy disks with like cracked games. Just no one cared at all. But yeah, I think for me, my first actual console was the Mega Drive. So that's kind of where my gaming memories kind of start. I can remember a few games for the Amiga, but not too many. Did you ever play Elite on the Amiga? No. The only games I really remember from the Amiga were Project X, like I mentioned. I think, was it Lotus Turbo Challenge and Turbo Challenge 2? I played quite a bit of those. I did have a really janky version of Mortal Kombat 1 on the Amiga, which was terrible. And there was also things like Cannon Fodder, Lemmings, you know. They're sort of like the classic Amiga games that I think everyone had. Some of my top games were the 3-pack of Shinobi, Streets of Rage, and Golden Axe. Yeah, so with my Mega Drive, mine came with like a 6-game cartridge. I think Revenge of Shinobi, Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, and then I think it was Columns, some terrible football/soccer game, and what was the 6th game? Oh, Super Hang-On. Super Hang-On was good. MK on the Amiga actually looks pretty good. The issue with the Amiga version was if you played the Amiga, basically you tend to use a joystick for it, and the joystick basically had one button. So it meant that you only had very limited moves that you could do in the game, because there was only so many buttons you could actually press. So it felt very limited. Don't know how many people have actual game cases, most folks stole them. Same for the ColecoVision. The amount of bootleg ColecoVision games my uncle had was unreal. Yeah, with the Amiga, it was more of a surprise if someone had actually a genuine game. Didn't have one growing up, but my friends had the Sonic and Altered Beast Genesis bundles. Oh, nice. Oh, you had a 10-game one, Pika. Nice. I think it just went gradually up over time, didn't it? I think by the end it was like, hey, 20 games. I just remember that the football game, or soccer, if you're from the US, I remember that game was absolutely terrible. I think I know it was called World Cup Battalion 90 over here, but I think it was a different name in America. It was like this weird sort of top-down view football game, and it was awful. But it was one of those games that you played like... You played it because it was so bad. Oh, do you remember it, Pika? The players looked like they had tails, yeah. It was very bad. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, all the players had arrows on the backs, didn't they? Yeah, so they kind of look like they had tails. Yeah, it was not a good game. Soccer isn't a real sport. There is only football and the complete disaster called American football. I feel I have to say soccer because otherwise, I think in America, it just like football by default is American football, isn't it? For what it's worth, I don't like either of them, so. Yeah, Columns wasn't bad. I mean, I don't remember it a little bit, but I think, wasn't it basically kind of Sega's take on Tetris, more or less? But, like, with slightly different rules. Hot take. Yeah, I have tried watching American football once before, and I just didn't understand it at all. Doesn't make much sense. You play football, soccer with your feet, not so much with American football. I like how everyone else gets a photon blast and I'm nowhere near. Wow, he's gone phase 2 already. Also watched my older friend play a bunch of Alex Kidd and Michael Jackson Moonwalker too. Oof. I mean, Alex Kidd's fine, I think, but yeah, the MJ game, it's kind of infamous, isn't it? You did 2,000 damage to his head with Overrun. Oh, 2,000 per tick, okay. But yeah, I do like going back and like thinking about the games I used to play. I think it's, for me, it's, I kind of feel sorry for people who grew up with gaming now, because when I was growing up, obviously I started with like the Amiga and the Mega Drive, and then moved on to PlayStation and so on. And it felt like every generation you moved on, there was like a huge leap in like in the games. I'm not saying that the later games were better necessarily, but I mean from a visual standpoint at least, you know, going from like the Mega Drive to the PlayStation was a huge difference. Going from the PlayStation to the PS2 was a huge difference. Where now it just feels like every generation kind of looks the same. Yeah, Comic Zone's really cool. I've seen Kid Chameleon, but yeah, I've never actually played it myself, but I've seen it. Yeah, so this might end up being the last run. We'll see how long it takes. Yeah, from what I've seen of Kid Chameleon, it does look very difficult. Yeah, Streets of Rage was awesome. I played a lot more Streets of Rage 1 than 2, because I didn't actually have 2, it was my friend that had it. I had Streets of Rage 1. But I love both games. First console was a GameCube, so the only big generational leap that I saw was PS2 to PS3. Yeah, I mean, that was still a pretty big leap. But I mean, even going from like PS3 to PS4, I know there is a big difference in the specs of the consoles, but like a good-looking PS3 game is probably not too far off sort of an average PS4 game. There is a difference, obviously, but... And from 4 to 5, I mean, you tell me. Like, I have a very, very distinct memory of like getting a PS2 one year and getting Gran Turismo 3. I distinctly remember like playing it for the first time and thinking, this looks real. I mean, obviously that's laughable going back to it now. It looks like a PS2 game. But coming from something like Gran Turismo 2 beforehand, like, the difference visually was insane. And yeah, I think it's kind of sad that people don't get to experience that now. Although I don't know, maybe people now, if they're interested in retro stuff, maybe they're more interested in going back and seeing what the older games are like. Using rifle, oh yeah, on HUcast. I just find it funny that HUcast can use rifles in this game. It makes no sense. Also, these are rare enemies, aren't they? That was my reaction once I got Halo 4. I've never seen that Dimos armor. I mean, I'll pick it up. I've never seen that. Everything after those little bumps, I think it's personally because they're so focused on playing at 4K with ray tracing, they give up on everything else. 1440p rasterized with 60 FPS is always better. I mean, don't get me wrong, I mean, 4K gaming looks great if you can do it, but yeah, I just feel like there's this focus at the minute on like, oh, our game has to have ray tracing. Like, it really doesn't. It's an area drop on hard and it has a set boost with the monster weapons. Okay. Glad indie developers are still making retro style games. Yeah. Oh, for sure. I think for me, like, a game that has nice sprite art to me will always look better. I really, really like sprite art, so again, maybe that's because I grew up with a Mega Drive and everything, but I think there's something really special about a game with good sprite art. I mean, I think it's good to see that some companies are still going back through all the franchises, still putting stuff out. I know Capcom recently announced new Mega Man games, didn't they? Pixel art really is built for the screen in a way that 3D art isn't. I think it's always really interesting looking at old games that use sprite art as well, and just seeing like the tricks they use to make the, to make the art look better. Bearing in mind that it was going to be displayed primarily on CRT monitors, so they kind of use some like weird tricks to to get around the intricacies of that. Love the gun sound. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that it doesn't use like the Yasminkov noise from PSO. Because that seems to be like the stock noise to go for. But it does sound different. Colour bled in specific ways that artists would use to their advantage. Exactly, yeah. I think that's why if you play like an old sprite game on a CRT screen, or if the game has a good CRT filter, emphasis on good, it does look much better. Another Deimos armor. I'm sure. Probably because they forgot that it's meant to be, it's supposed to be art in motion. Yeah, it's just strange, like, if you go back and play, like, an old sprite art game now, if you play it without a CRT filter on, it kind of looks a bit strange. Honestly, that's maybe why I like Phantasy Star 4 so much as well, amongst other reasons. I love the sprite art in that game. Nope, rare monsters again. We're getting all the rare monsters in this today. Maybe it is Rare Monster Week, just not in PSO. You have CRTs for that exact purpose. I really wish I still had a CRT. There is another reason I wish I still had a CRT as well. Because I still have a copy of Time Crisis with the light gun. And I can't use it on modern TVs. And I love Time Crisis. I mean, I can play it on control, but it's not the same. I know there is a company that made a light gun that apparently works on modern TVs, but there's so much damage. I know it's like the reminiscence stream now, but like I also really miss like game arcades. That is not really a thing here anymore. There's one nearby, but it doesn't really have any what I would call typical arcade games. Yep, everyone do your PBs again, and I won't because I don't have one again. You had the gun for the Dreamcast and played House of the Dead with it. Oh, nice. Oh, that was a quick Dark Falls. I don't know why he sounds like that in Zero. I also love PS0. Another Deimos armor. I mean, sure. Yeah, there used to be a really big arcade kind of near me, but they more or less closed it down recently. I think it's just there isn't much demand for them now, unfortunately. But I really miss that. I really miss sort of going to the arcade on a weekend. Yeah, Dark Falls looks really weird in this. It's also very weird in the story. He just kind of shows up out of nowhere. You found an arcade while you're going to a job interview. You were fighting your soul not to hop on the Daytona USA cabinet. That's another game I really wish that Sega would bring back. And I can only assume that the only reason they've had that they maybe haven't is maybe licensing issues with Daytona. With using the name Daytona. Having said that, I'm sure one of the Yakuza games had one of the Daytona USA games then. But yeah, I do miss games like Daytona and Sega Rally as well. I should probably buy a Sega Rally for my Dreamcast at some point, honestly. Does Sega still make Initial D games? I'm honestly not sure. I know there are still Initial D arcade games, but I don't know if Sega does them or not. I got to play one of those the first time I went to Japan, and it was one where you actually sat in like full-size cars. It was in the Joypolis arcade in Odaiba on the outskirts of Tokyo, and you literally sat in full-size cars that had been converted to arcade controllers. I think there was like the A86 that Takumi drives, there was the Subaru that Bunta has, and the yellow RX-7 as well. I think I sat in the RX-7. It was ridiculous. I don't think it's at Joypolis anymore though. I think they got rid of it. I didn't go this time I went to Japan, so I didn't get to see, but yeah, from what I heard, I think they moved it. Or got rid of it. Is Initial D Arcade the one where you could print out your own license to save your data? I'm not sure. I know there was a similar thing with F-Zero AX years ago, where you could take your GameCube memory card and plug it into the arcade machine and get some, I think it was like some special parts and stuff you could get, which is really cool. Hiya, Vector. You picked a great time to join. Red Turtle Hugos. I mean, it does kind of make it look like a turtle. It's actually a really cool looking mag. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Strike unit from PSO, but cooler looking. And looking less like a fridge. Looks a bit like a jetpack. Nintendo, where is the next F-Zero? I think they call it Mario Kart now, unfortunately. Yeah, I'd love to see another F-Zero game, but I can't see it happening, unfortunately. It does look a bit fridgy, doesn't it? But yeah, I think we're probably in there for today, I think. So, plan is, on Wednesday, I will be doing some more Front Mission 3. I think next Sunday, maybe we'll do PSO next week, because it'll be Rare Drop Week. I know the event might have ended, but it'll still be Rare Drop Week, so maybe it's still worth playing. Like I say, there is some plans as well to play some other games during this year as well. Again, big thank you to everyone who's supported the channel through 2025 and 2026 as well. Go on then, we'll do the curse wave, why not? But yeah, we will end there for today, I think. Again, thank you to everyone who joined for Zero as well. Much appreciated. So yeah, Wednesday, Front Mission 3. Sunday will probably be PSO. I will have a video going live probably in the next week or so. I'm working on it at the minute, but yeah, the videos will be a little bit slower paced for the next year. But hopefully be a bit better quality, so yeah, whatever you're doing, have a fantastic rest of your weekend. And I will see you guys on Wednesday for some more Front Mission 3. Where we'll probably get absolutely bodied again. So yeah, see you guys later. And before we go, one final Squidward. See you guys.